Here with UFC lightweight contender Dustin Poirier, who fights Nate Diaz at UFC 230 at Madison Square Garden in November. I don't know, though. Are you fighting Nate Diaz? You guys just squared off, but he's already said he's not off the fight.
Yeah, some weird stuff going on. I would just plan on fighting in Madison Square Garden.
Well, walk me through this. What happened here? Because you get a great win in Calgary against Eddie Alvarez, and then you had made it pretty clear that, hey, I've earned my title shot. This is not a title fight. So how did this fight come together, and why did you want to take it?
This is the biggest fight that could have came together for me, besides the title fight. And obviously, Khabib and Conor are going to fight here in October, and I just feel like I'm not going to wait 10 months for a title shot. I don't want to sit on the shelf that long. I feel like I'm hitting my prime. I'm hitting my stride. I feel good. I'm healthy, and there's no reason to wait that long for me. I'm not beating these guys by luck. I'm beating these guys because I'm a better fighter. I've dedicated my life to being the best fighter I can be, and I think it's showing. So I'll just fight another fight. This is the biggest one we could have got that wasn't title.
Well, yeah, I was going to ask. I mean, would you have done this against, Kevin Lee? Would you have done it against any of those other lightweights, or does the fact that it was Nate Diaz make it an easy yes?
The fact that it was Nate Diaz makes it an easy yes. It's a guy I've always wanted to fight. And he's probably the second biggest name in mixed martial arts at the moment that I could have fought.
What do you make of Nate? I mean, you guys, you get the fight done. You show up at the press conference. He's not there. You got to walk out and have a stare down with yourself. And then he does show up, and then shortly after the press conference, he says he's not fighting anymore. I mean, what do you make of the guy?
I mean, you can expect that kind of stuff with Nate, right? Just like when you can expect when the door closes and he gets in there, he's going to fight. So he's just a different kind of character, but I believe he'll show up.
Do you think he wants to fight you, though? I mean, the guy hadn't fought in 2 years. Everyone sort of assumed that he was waiting for Conor, and now Conor gets a fight. He immediately gets a fight. Do you think he wants this?
I'm not sure. I know I do, and that's all that matters to me.
Any contract negotiations that needed to take place ahead of this fight? Any promises that needed to be made ahead of this fight?
Yeah, we had to go back and sit down and look at everything, and it had to make sense for me. And we made a few adjustments, and now we're fighting.
Talk about, you're in a division that has had everybody, no one knows what's going on, right? Conor was the champion, he didn't fight. Khabib is now the champion. Those two are going to fight. Does it finally feel like it's in a place where it's going to be moving? Do you feel like the division will be moving at the end of this year?
I believe so. I think obviously Conor and Khabib fight. We'll have a solid champion. There'll be no question there. And then I go out there and beat Nate Diaz. I'm the #1 contender. No questions there either. So I'll fight the winner. Are
you surprised Conor came back and took that fight against Khabib?
No, I mean, he has a legacy, and this fight's a long time building, a long time in the making, and I'm not surprised at all. The guy's a fighter.
So you get past Nate Diaz and you fight the winner of that fight. Who is that in your mind?
I'm leaning towards Khabib, but you can't never count Conor out. It's too tough to call, but I'm just focused on Nate Diaz.
Appreciate it, man. Best of luck.